Every day, more than 17 veterans take their own lives. By building a gaming community that offers peer-to-peer counseling, GameCore is aiming for zero. Research shows that playing video games together offers social connection, stress relief, cognitive enhancement, and community building. On our Discord server, veterans, active duty service members, and supporters chat and game together. Some casual gaming sessions might only involve 2 or 3 people, while other events might include larger groups and be streamed on the GameCore Twitch channel. Most of the time, there is a GameCore member available to lend an ear to anyone who needs it. Join the Discord server. It's free. We are an inclusive community and we don't require anything of our members. If you want to be more involved, there are always opportunities to volunteer.
All right, everyone, welcome to the Tech4Troops Cup Series here on the IWM Broadcast Network. I'm Rick Souza here in the booth with John DeRudris. And John, we're about ready to get the next round of the playoffs kicked off.
We are, and it's going to be an exciting race here at New Hampshire. It's a race where a lot of drivers can struggle with, but if you can find a good grippy line, because there's multiple lanes being run here, you can run multiple different styles. It'll be a fun race as we have Tech4Troops Cup Series, race number 1 of the round of 12 in the Mobile 1 150. Looking at the point standings right now, the bottom 4 out are Justin Lewis, Jordan Weaver, Ty Bostic, and Michael Anthony. And the cut line is very, very tight for basically P7 all the way down to P11. Only 8 points separate those 5 drivers. Now, looking up, you have Andrew Pileshi there, Marcus Adams, Matthew Wood, Wyatt Gray, and a little bit of a safe spot, Kyle Smalley and Walker Thomas. Unless catastrophe happens the next 2 races, you know, they will more than likely be locked in. But looking at this field tonight, Rick, that cutoff line is going to be tight.
Absolutely. So here we are tonight. We are at New Hampshire. Next week we go to Kansas, and then you've got the Roval to round out this round. So, I sometimes say, I always point to one race as being like the one you've got to survive, and one race you've got to excel at if you're going to move on in the playoffs. I'm not quite sure if this is the one to excel at or survive, because New Hampshire is a tough track.
It's a very tough track. It's not for the faint of heart, and you have to master throttle control. That's the key here. Throttle control is going to either make or break this race for you. And looking at right now, the track is looking at about 87 degrees. Not too bad, as we have 150 laps here tonight for you all. 45 miles per hour down pit road. No quick repairs. 4 sets of tires, 1 in the car, 3 in the pits. 75% fuel, 3 green, white checker restarts. And tonight's, Mobile 1 150, was it 150 or 151? 150?
Well, for tonight, it's 150.
Yeah, 150. So, looking at that, it's going to be an exciting race. I think somebody just tried to do the Ross Chastain, and it might have worked. So, we know if anybody tries that, that'll be probably a non-eligible move. But, Rick, should be a good race.
That's right. That's right. Well, practice is about to wrap up, and we're about to go qualifying. All right, again, welcome to New Hampshire for the Tech4Troops Cup Series event here. Round 2, Race 1. We are getting underway. This is a very interesting track. We'll tell you more about it as we start getting qualifying underway. Let's see who we've got first up. That's going to be Walker Thomas.
Yeah, Walker Thomas. A name to be reckoned with every single week just because of how strong he is. I mean, it's wild to see how well he's been able to perform just across the board. So, curious to see what kind of lap time he's going to put up here. Kind of running that third lane, going to power off right here. Full throttle all the way to the line. 29.337. He's going to try one more time here. Probably going to diamond down a little bit more, make it stick out of turn 2, which he does. Gets really close to the wall.
Yeah, this track here, lap 2 is going to be your fastest if you can hold it together.
Going to probably a little bit of a diamond here off the corner. Going to slide all the way back up. And he may be able to top this time, Rick. Pretty good. Yes, he does. 29.259. Top of the board, Walker Thomas.
Take a look, see who's still on track, trying to get their times in. Well, that time at the top of the leaderboard
now
didn't last.
And what's very similar to a Kyle Larson scheme, except for they have the energy drink sponsor, I believe, on that hood, and looks like it'll be fairly clean lap there for the 51.
That winds up putting Kyle in the 14th slot.
As we see times populate up into the board. Currently 17, 18 cars have hit the line.
Watching Luke Bullard make his qualifying attempt. I think this is his first lap here. Still a couple of minutes left in the qualifying. Whoa, big jump for Luke Bullard. Puts himself up top 5.
Okay. I could not hear anything, Rick. So if I was interrupting you, I apologize. I did not hear a thing for like 2 straight minutes. I thought you had gone to the restroom or something, and I couldn't hear anything. And I was like, wait a second. I haven't heard anything for a while. This is odd. So I had to go and fix my audio. So I apologize. I promise I was not being rude there. I do like broadcasting with you and hearing your voice.
No, it's all good. It's all good here. We're watching a number of drivers make their attempts. Maxwell Caldwell just put himself in the top 5. We're watching Sammy Harrell going around at this point. We just got a handful of drivers left who have not qualified. A number of drivers, I think,
Yeah.
are just going to be content to sit in the back.
Yeah, I think it's like 5 drivers right now that have not put out in a lap time, and so, I mean, I'm not going to... It happened 2 weeks ago, or I guess last week, where I was like, yeah, I don't think starting from the back is great, but now, you know, Marcus Adams proved me wrong. So I'm not going to go off of that statement anymore. I'm going to say, you know what? You could run your own race. Run your own race and see what happens. So those 5 drivers who have not put up a qual time, which is now moves down to 4 drivers, Aaron Jackson, Chuck Van Scoik, Jared Wishon, and Marco Berube. So those are 3, if I'm not mistaken, 3 GOAT Racing drivers. Jared Wishon's a part of that team, correct or no?
I'm not sure.
I can't remember, but at least 2. Yeah.
Yeah, you got at least 4 drivers who have not qualified. Jackson, Van Scoik, Berube, and Wishon. And you're right, at least 2 of those were GOAT Racing guys. But hey, they know better than we do, so we'll see how it goes. All right, looks like we've got a grid. Let's go ahead and bring up the grid.
Let's do it. All righty. So for tonight's starting lineup for the Mobile 1 150, brought to you by the IWM Broadcast Network. This is the Tech4Troops Cup Series, race number 1 of the round of 12. Andrew Paleschi on top of the board at the pole with Kyle Smalley in second. Walker Thomas sitting in third. Wyatt Gray will start in P4 with Maxwell Caldwell starting in P5. Marcus Adams in sixth. Luke Bullard in 7th. Jordan Weaver starts in P8. Aiden Lucas in 9th. And Todd Merkel, great qualifying run, starts in 10th.
Justin Lewis finds himself in 11th with Matthew Wood to his outside. John Ledger in 13th with William Corinne to his outside. Sammy Harrell and Garrett Johnson are in row 8. Ty Bostic, Michael Anthony in row 9. Christoph Hall and Greg Stone in row 10.
And looking at row number 11, Pete Woodrum, Philip Van Nortwick there, starts in 22nd. Nathan Yarnell and Justin Horton make up row number 12. Row number 13, you have Ryan D. Cook and Cody Sturgill, with Jared Wishon and Chuck Van Scoik rounding out row 14. And last row, who, along with Wishon and Van Scoik, Jackson and Berube did not put up any lap time, so they will be at the back of the field. I don't know if that's, you know, a terrible strategy, honestly. I think it could benefit you if you are trying to kind of avoid I think, some inevitable chaos, because racing in this race last week in the INRS series, the breaking points were very different for a lot of people, and it fanned out a lot of times, and you had a lot of different drivers running a lot of different lines, and when you have a race like this and a track like this, you're going to make contact, and it's 9 times out of 10 a racing deal.
All right, pace car gets this field underway as we work our way around this track. Andrew Paleschi is our control car who gets the pole here. We'll see how this all plays out. You know, Andrew was super fast in practice. He was up there all the time. So,
yeah, he was up there. Excited to see what he's able to do.
All right, we've got a number of stories we'll keep an eye on throughout this field. John, why don't we talk about the keys real quick before we get too far down the path?
Let's do it really quick. So number 1, tire wear is going to matter here, especially if you're running that right front really hard. You're going to start sliding on the back end of these runs. Corner entry and exit, you have to master that. You cannot spin your tires or lock it up. And then pit strategy, number 3. All right, here we go. They're off pit road. They're in the Echo Park restart zone. I said it right. And we're green flag racing from New Hampshire. Paleschi, Smalley up there as they go into turn number 1. And this is, whoa, car sideways. Oh, into the wall.
That's 43,
43
Sammy
Harrell already.
Yeah.
We need to go back and take a look. He may have gotten tagged from behind, because that was a pretty just rough hit there. Unless he spun the tires, maybe, Rick? I don't know what could have caused that.
I don't know. We're rolling back the tape now, see just what happened. Let's just find Sammy Harrell here.
Oh, we just lost it.
It's all on him, unfortunately. And we're under caution. While
Oh,
we're
yeah, we're on the
looking at,
caution.
that little issue, we got an issue with Ryan D. Cook. Watch that 46 of Ryan D. Cook to the outside.
Yeah, let's see what happens here. He's on a flatter portion of the track. I think the 55 just carried a lot of speed and just made some
Yeah.
contact there.
Yarnell tagged him from the inside, unfortunately. Tapping that left rear coming out of a turn is just a recipe for disaster.
Yeah, tough break already. Caution number 1 here on lap number 3, and it's been a while since I've done this, but I had a really awesome individual send me some very interesting questions just for these moments. And we're going to reintroduce the trivia questions. The whatever you would like to call that. The track facts, I guess. That's what we were calling them, track facts. So, every caution, I'll throw a question out and you can answer it in the chat. If you're even on replay, you could do it there, even though you could fast forward if you want through the cautions. But here's go. Question number 1. What nickname is New Hampshire Motor Speedway commonly known by? I'm not going to give you any choices because that's a pretty big gimme. But what nickname is New Hampshire Motor Speedway commonly known by?
All right, just go ahead and put it in the chat. And we'll call if you get it right. We'll even if you get it wrong, we'll still probably call your name and encourage you to play along here. This is a challenging track. We expect potentially to have a number of trivia questions over the course of this 150 lap event.
I do have a number of them right here with me, so hopefully I won't have to use them all. But sometimes you never know. Sometimes as in racing, cautions can breed cautions, but looks like we're going to get 1 to green right now, which means we're going to go back to green flag racing this next time by. And Rick, I'm curious, when it comes to New Hampshire, what kind of line do you like to run? Do you kind of like running where Andrew Pileshi is, that third lane, or you like running 1 lane up from the flat spot where the 51 is?
Well, it really depends on the track itself, but I typically like to, I'm a lower, on this track, I try to find a middle ground because I like to dive tight into those corners. I've never been successful running that high line on this track. I just don't have I'll give it up. I mean, other people have the skills that can do that. That's not in my toolbox.
Well, the thing is you can have and be strong on the low line or be strong on the high line. And it'll suit your car and suit you however it may be. So here we go. Green flag back in the air here at New Hampshire. Great run for Kyle Smalley on the inside line as we go into turn 1 yet again.
All right, field still bunched together, a little bit stretching out the single wide, at least for the top 10. But going farther back, right there's Todd Merkel in the 34 of Aiden Lucas, door to door here. That's a battle for 9th.
Yeah, what a run from Todd Merkel. I mean, doing a great job there in that 2. Battling here in the top 10.
See the 3 of Luke Bullard. You've noticed he got a pretty good run. He's kind of taking a little bit of a hybrid line around this track.
And that works for a period of time. It's just a matter of time of whether or not that tire is going to survive that, Like, you can run that hybrid line. It's a lot of grip up there because it has a great entry speed. You're not really shaving a lot of speed off on entry. And then also on exit, you can drive it off really, really well. So, curious to see how long he plays that game. But right now, 31 and 71, almost to the battle right in front of those guys. Going to introduce Maxwell Caldwell back into it as well.
All right, so far just one person has put up a name in the trivia.
All right, well, what did they say?
They said the Magic Mile, Retro Wave Dave.
Retro Wave Dave might be correct. I think it's about time I could probably give the answer, right?
Yep, absolutely.
So, yeah, if you said the last great Coliseum. Well, that would be wrong. Nobody said that, thank goodness. But it is the Magic Mile. Yes, so New Hampshire is commonly known as the Magic Mile.
Speaking of magic, something's happening with Kyle Smalley in that, because he just put up a smoking fast time here, lap 8, a 29.313, the fastest lap so far.
Very impressive to do that on about 6-lap-old, 5-lap-old tires. So we'll see if that stands, because that does get you a point for the playoffs.
Looking back for Pete Woodrum. Pete may have had a little bit of an issue there at some point, but he's looking. He's got pointed in the right direction. So there's a little bit of left side damage on the front of that car.
If I'm not mistaken, it looks like the left front is a little bit skewed in. It looks like the toe's out of it a little bit.
Keep an eye on him. But back up front, Kyle Smalley continues to lead. We're single file behind for a good bit. Jumping back, Todd Merkel. You almost have to go back to Ty Bostic, John Ledger, and the 21 of Matthew Wood here for a little bit of side-by-side action as the 22 tries to get to continue to climb. He qualified somewhere about 17th, and now he's up to 15th.
Yeah, solid run, trying to build up there for the 22 as we see the 21 of Matthew Wood. Going to try to replicate what Josh Berry did this past week, and goodness gracious, if that 21 car in this race is anywhere near as fast as Josh Berry's was, well, you better watch out. And we've seen Matthew Wood up at the front of these races before, so better watch out for that. A little bit further on back, the 64 right there of Cody Sturgill battling with the 17 of Jared Wishin. But everyone's kind of, minding their own business now after that first caution.
Looking back through the field, just seeing who's out there and what they're doing. It looks like we're all kind of single file for the most part. This is just a challenging track to pass on. You got to find your spot. Watching the 55 of Nathan Yarnell work his way, try to get around the 12. But like other tracks, if you are biding your time, keeping your stuff together, you can mount a late stage charge. But
you can for sure. But if you play the risk of, is there a caution? If a caution flies,
right?
It's the game you always play. Like, do I save my stuff now for a late in run, or do I push because I expect there to be a caution-filled race? Well, right now we only have one caution, but we're only 15 laps in, about a tenth of the way through this race. So,
yeah, interestingly enough, Kyle Smalley here is closing. He's got maybe a quarter left before he'll begin to catch up to the 46 of Ryan Cook, who's already a lap down, and then he's not far from the 87 of Pete Woodrum. So, looking at lap speeds, let's bring up that information. So Kyle Smalley's last time around was a 29.722. Down here, Ryan D. Cook, his last time was a 32.07.
Definitely either some damage going on or something on that car for sure.
But watching Kyle Smalley here really just work his way around. Now, again, this is a mile track. Is it exactly a mile? Is it a mile point something?
I think it's exactly a mile, I believe.
Let's bring up that race information one more time. 1.02. Yeah, close enough to a mile.
You round down. You round.
But that being said, and let's do another thing. Let's go on board. Let's go on board with Kyle Smalley, just see how he's getting around here. So that's third gear. Up to fourth just before the start finish. And then back down to third. So that is going to really chew up a lot of fuel as they're running in third and fourth gear.
It is. And one thing I'm noticing is he is actually leveraging that flat part of the track on entry and exit to get the car to turn a little bit more. You notice right there he touched it, then he diamonds it, and he's going to come back down and touch it just a little bit and get the rotation. I like that strategy. I'm just curious to know what the tires will do on the long run. You're going to see him do it right here again. Barely touches that low line, drifts all the way up to the middle. He's going to come back, diamond it, going to touch it just a little bit there, and back in it. I mean, it's a good strategy, and I don't see a lot of guys doing that, so we'll see what happens. But behind them, Rick, we got a battle for P2. They've been like this for the last 5 or 10 laps. The 91 of Andrew Pileshi and Walker Thomas. Nose to tail, Walker's tagged the wall a couple times.
So one of the things we do know is that, oh yeah, absolutely. One of the things we do know is that with the means and methods of them shifting through third and fourth gear, and we talked about them burning through fuel, our estimate is around 60 or so. Does that sound right, John? About 60 or so laps per tank? 60
to 65 is what I remember on Thursday night, and it really depends on how, if you're shifting, when you're shifting, if you're lifting in early on entry to drag the car, let the RPM slow the car down. But 60 to 65 was the sweet spot on Thursday night. So I imagine it's going to be pretty close to that point. So you're looking at drivers probably coming down pit road on laps 63 to 68, more than likely. So that's where we're going to see those green flag runs come in, which means it's a 2-stop race.
Yeah. Well, the other thing that, they definitely have to consider, though, is tire wear, because depending on how you're driving, how aggressive your line is, although your fuel may run out at that time, I saw drivers who actually, their tires did not last, and they actually got a meatball because they lost a tire, even though they didn't crash, but they blew a tire and had to come in.
Yeah, I mean, it's again, the strategy game you play, because I would say 9 times out of 10, the drivers in these leagues does not have a race strategist or somebody in the pits telling them exactly what's going on outside of the iRacing spotters, and they can't make, completely objective or subjective calls at times, right, on strategy. So you have to do that as a driver, and that's one of the toughest parts, and I don't really think it gets talked about a lot. At least we haven't talked about it a lot. But you're not only racing the guys around you, you are having to come up with a strategy. You're having to think on the fly, okay, if a driver in front of me pits early in short pits, what do I do, right? Or do I go long? And so that's what you have to make. Typical drivers in the Cup Series don't make those decisions themselves, right? They have a team that does that for them. So here in the Tech4Troops Cup Series, it just adds another level of strategy and racecraft to the whole mix.
All right, with that, we saw your leader, Kyle Smalley, make his way around Pete Woodrum. He's now gone a lap down as we are here at lap 26. Some solid racing so far. Looking back at a battle that's happening. This is for 9th between Aiden Lucas and Justin Lewis. Aiden right now is sitting in 9th. That's where he qualified, but the 7 of Justin Lewis is trying to take that spot away.
Yeah, it's a playoff guy versus a non-playoff guy, and we've seen what happens, between playoff drivers and non-playoff drivers. So we'll see how they'll play today. And so looking right there, you have the 15 of Garrett Johnson going by that 34 as well. And Aiden Lucas, one of those drivers, I believe, that was eliminated last week.
Yep.
So right now, the 10 drivers make up the top 11 spots that are all in the playoffs. So that's we've seen this time and time again where the cream really rises to the top there. So Luke Boyler's the only one that is not in the playoffs in the top 10 at the moment.
Yeah, but also, there is some value to being successful. There is some cash here in the Tech4Troops Cup Series for that driver who is a non-playoff driver that finishes the highest. He'll get some cash.
Absolutely, and it's a great incentive too for car counts. Oftentimes you can see in leagues and late in seasons. If you're not in the playoffs, you see those car counts start to dwindle. But with that extra championship really there, with the prize money on the line, you have a reason to show out every single week, even if you're not even in the playoffs from the round of 16, right? So
absolutely.
So it's a really cool system.
Yeah, this league does that. They're doing that for the rest of the season. They also do each and every week a clean driver award. So, if you're watching or you're catching this on replay, go ahead and if you're interested and you're on iRacing, now is a good time to reach out to the league, get your name in for next season.
Yeah, we should be announcing all of that information here in the coming weeks, probably close to when the season ends and after that. So make sure to stay tuned, and you can find us on iRacing. If you look up the leagues, I believe it should be under Tech4Troops Cup Series. So you can find that, and you should be able to apply there.
Yep, Retro Dave just made a very astute observation. He noticed that Kyle Smalley is running a similar line to Chase Elliott, but right now Kyle Smalley is no longer the leader.
No, just got taken over by the one of Walker Thomas. Talked about him in the pre-race running fast laps. I mean, that was a pretty substantial gap that Kyle had to lose and Walker had to gain on.
Yeah, so Walker used, I guess, with Andrew Pleshy. They both were there, and now they are right there swarming around the 51 of Kyle Smalley.
Yeah, I mean, last time by, Walker Thomas was 0.3 faster. That time by, he was 0.4 faster than Kyle Smalley. Wonder if Kyle burned up the tires on that thing.
It's possible. We'll keep an eye on the line that Walker Thomas chooses here, because obviously 33 laps in, you're going to have tire wear for sure, and this is about the time it's going to show, because you're just past the halfway point on this run.
Yeah, last time by, Walker Thomas 0.3 faster again. I think that 51 is falling off. I mean, looking through the top 10, he has the second slowest lap in the top 10 that last time by. The only one slower was Marcus Adams with a 30.51 and Matthew Wood with a 30.44. So it's interesting. See what's happening there with the 51. Maybe he pushed a little bit too hard on this first run.
Right now he's keeping the 91 behind him, but I don't think it's going to last for long. You just saw, just that bit. The 91 had to back out.
I know these drivers are patient, but sometimes patient runs thin.
Let's go inside with Andrew Paleshi here. He's definitely downshifting a little bit early to try and anticipate the braking zone of the 51. In my opinion.
Yeah, smart call. And he's also running a little bit of a different line. That time he followed right on the tracks with the 51, but trying to get out of the wake. And he's there. I mean, I think the 91's much faster than the 51. I think the 91 needs to go up high here in turn 1 and 2. You can make it stick. I tested it and it worked on Thursday. If you go right where your right fronts are on that darker patch of road, you can make a great rumble. He may try to go to the bottom side here.
Yeah, he's looking for an opening. He just hasn't found it yet.
Yeah, I think he needs to try his luck on the outside. I think that's where he's going to find that opening, Rick. I think it just needs to kind of send it in there. Because you can roll it. You can roll the top.
Yeah, I just think Kyle's kind of protecting it a little bit. See how high he's letting it roll out? So he kind of closes that option on quarter exit. You just can't give him. He's just protecting that position.
And what that's doing is that's wearing down the 91's tires. Okay, he ran a little bit higher that time. He needs to stay up there. He's going to try to cross over on the inside, and he might get him here. Okay, I think he 100% needs to try for the high line here. I think it's his only way around. I'm begging him. I think it could work. just because there's grip up there.
You got to give him that telepathic, John D. mojo to say, hey, the 91, you got to try this, something.
I'll do my best. I'll do my best.
Okay, you got that.
Let's see. No, it didn't listen that time. And again, I'm not for the 51 or the 91. I'm just saying, if you're trying to get around a guy, I think the High Line could be an interesting run, but also it's 40 laps on these tires, so you may ship it in there. Oh, he may go low here.
There he goes.
He does. Takes it on the low line now. Oh, this is going to be a crossover.
He holds it. I don't think the 51 has anything for him.
No, I don't think so.
And, with that, I mean, I think that the Walker Thomas, obviously bring up that gap information, has been able to leverage the fact that the 91 was being held back by the 51 to almost a 2-second advantage.
And that's so important because it wears down the 91's tires, and Walker Thomas can get a gap, and Walker can actually save tires. So it's all in favor of that one at the moment. Now, the 91 just closed in by about a tenth that corner, so we'll see what he does in this one.
So pretty much one straightaway away. The one will begin to encounter some lap down traffic. That may take its toll because it's not going to be just a handful of cars. They're going to wind up at the back of the pack, and there's a lot of drivers there. We've got 30 cars on track.
So right now, almost a third of the way through this race, and Walker Thomas up out front, 1.8 seconds and slowly growing. And just want to say, if you've watched this far, and big hit for the one. Well, broadcaster's curse there. Sorry.
Well, it's just
Sorry,
44 laps in, those tires are dancing.
They definitely are, and we would be dancing if you subscribe to the IWM Broadcast Network. Had to throw in a segue in there somehow.
There you go.
Appreciate, see the little icons even dancing. We appreciate everybody that has subscribed so far, just over 2,000 subscribers, and appreciate everybody that tunes in every single week in and week out. Always have our loyal fan base there. Lorraine's one of them who always comments. I bet she's in the chat. I can't see the chat, but I bet she commented, hey, Rick, John, and John L., and all the good stuff there with Ty as well. So appreciate everybody for watching. If you haven't subscribed, make sure to do that so you can stay up to date on the leagues that we showcase, the Tech4Troops Cup Series here on Wednesdays, and the NASCAR Racing Series on Thursdays, because we have just a few weeks left in every single one of them. We're going into race number 5 next week or tomorrow for the INRS, and this is race number 4 of the playoffs for the Tech4Troops Cup Series.
Absolutely. So lap 46 of 150, 1/3 of the race almost done here. We're still winding our way down, anticipating a round of cautions in about 10 or 15 laps. We're going to take a quick commercial break here. We'll go side by side. You won't miss a thing, but we'll be right back. Thank you for tuning in to the IWM Broadcast Network.
Hello, my name is Jack Raymondson. I manage business development here at Tech4Troops, and I'm my second year with this amazing veteran nonprofit owned and operated by veterans for veterans. I served in the U.S. Marine Corps as an amphibious assault crewman from 1992 to 1996. I also served in the U.S. Coast Guard from 2002 to 2007, joining after 9/11 as an operations specialist, then serving as an instructor at Coast Guard Training Center, Yorktown. I also spent many years as a first responder volunteering as an EMT and fireman. I'm here at Tech4Troops because I believe in our mission to empower veterans and their families with the gift of computers and technology training, as well as our outreach to help curb veteran suicide while providing a safe and meaningful community where veterans are treated with respect and dignity. We are aiming for zero veteran suicide through gaming and other program opportunities. We help veterans regain a new sense of purpose and help them see they have a brighter future ahead of them. It truly is an honor and my pleasure to serve my fellow veterans and help give them a leg up. 2024 is Tech4Troops' 10th anniversary year, and I ask that you help us support our veterans and their families with a computer donation and or greatly needed financial contribution so we can help every last veteran in need. Together, you and Tech4Troops can be change makers. Thank you.
All right, welcome back. Lap 50 here with Walker Thomas still out there. He's got about a 1.6 second lead over second place Andrew Pileshi, who's trying to claw back that time he lost, trying to get in front of the 51 of Kyle Smalley, who was leading earlier, is now sitting in third. And we are winding down, John, just 10 or so laps before we will need a fuel stop for these cars.
I'm very curious to see who pits when, because you're starting to get into the discussion of, okay, do you short pit a little bit because you can make it on 60 laps and basically go 50, 60, 50, right? Because you could do that. Or I guess 50, 60, 40, really. So looking on right now, William Corinne, the first one to make it down pit road. We'll see what his thoughts are. It kind of showed his hand right there. And so is Walker Thomas coming in early. Wow, did not expect that.
Well, I think that's not a bad strategy. That splitting it up, you don't have to stretch it out to the last time. If you come in at 52, you know you can get 60, and then you've got that's going to get you to lap 110, 112. You're good to go with one more stop. So
yeah, I love the thinking. I think you can go 50, 50, 50 in all the runs, or one that I like a little bit more is going, if you pit now, so let's say 50, right? 52, and then you pit on the maximum back into that, which would be about 60, so about lap 112. You'd only have to run about 38 laps on that last run, which means you can put less fuel in it, which means you can go a little bit more aggressive on that back end. So we'll see who goes now, looking at Jordan Weaver on pit road. Or you could even do the flip where, I don't know if any driver would even try this. Theoretically, you could pit, let's say, on lap 40, then pit on, or heck, you could even pit on lap 30, pit on lap 30, pit again on lap 90, and then you could basically, you're stretching it all the way to the end. Now, that's a very different alternate strategy, but
yeah, I kind of like the idea of coming in early now, not probably for the reasons you're thinking of, but if you wait till the last lap or two, you're going to wind up trying to pit in New Hampshire with a lot of cars all trying to dive onto pit road. If I come in now with myself or maybe another car or two, I don't have to be as cautious. I don't have to be as cognizant about those 20 cars all diving onto pit road.
Yep. Also, the longer you wait, I think the higher probability of a caution, right?
Yep.
So I've been the victim of that, unfortunately, on both ends, where I've pit too early and pit too late, where I didn't even pit. And it can cost you big.
So right now, lap 56, for sure, we're going to see them down within the next 8 laps or so. Number of drivers on pit road now: Christoph Hall, Cody Sturgill, 2 GOAT Racing drivers are on pit road. But your leaders have not made it around. You can see right there the one of Walker Thomas unlapping himself. He's on fresh tires. His times are going to be significantly faster than currently your leader, whose last time around was a 30.53. So fall off is pretty significant, over a second on the fall off of these tires.
Yeah, that's a notable pass, because the 91's going long, and so, the delta should shift back into the 91's favor as he makes his way down. Oh, he spins!
He spins!
Oh, and he tagged the left front too. Well, I will have to say one thing. He did not hit the barrels, and we didn't have to call the marshals out on the track. I'll say that. We had that situation last week, and Sal had the call of the century. When I tell you I listened to that back and I was cackling, I could not stop laughing, Rick. I was dying laughing. I clipped it for him and sent it to him so he could post it himself. So It was amazing. So, a tough break for the 91, though, because now that puts him even further back, because now he's going to have to deal with maybe some left front damage.
Yeah, hopefully he's able to get that, maybe a little bit of that touched up while he was in there. Maybe not, but he's back on track. That puts Marcus Adams out in front. Justin Lewis is on pit road. But as the green flag pit stops begin to occur here, lap 59, we still have about 15 drivers or so who have not come down pit road. And, just like that, Luke Bullard just put up the fastest time, a 29.263.
Wow, what a lap. And you see, watch the 31s line. Marcus Adams into this corner. Look at how high he gets.
Yeah, he's taking that high line around.
I mean, that's like above the, I do this for myself. I call it the sticky lane, which is the third lane. I think that has a lot of grip in it. He's above that. And so we'll see what he does in one if he does the same thing. Yeah, he is staying like right there. Now that's the line that I like right there where he's running. But interesting move as we see the 51 all the way down on the bottom lane on the apron trying to make a pass.
He's got fresh tires. He's able to drive right by, and he is at this point going to get his lap back. Kyle Smalley has now unlapped himself as new leader. Maxwell Caldwell, the 94. He has yet to pit. Again, let's just see 1, 2, 11 drivers, 12 drivers who have yet to pit.
I see 14, but it might just be me.
Yeah, they're just coming off the telemetry faster than I can count.
Yep.
All right, lap 63.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's around 11. It's too fast for me. Everything's just jumping around.
Well, I think these drivers did a great job of kind of breaking it up again, though. Lap 63. We did have one caution, which probably gives them another lap or two in the fuel bank. So maybe it's 66 is the cutoff, but I expect to see those drivers down anytime now. And now there's a mix. You've got these drivers who have 64 old lap tires. They're now blended with a lot of drivers who have who've got fresh tires. Saw the 24 of Philip Van Nortwick. I think he actually went off track. Didn't bring out a caution, but let's take a peek at what just happened. Watch
I think he became a lawnmower. Yeah, locked up the rears and decided to cut through some grass.
All right.
But hey, made it on safe.
Back out front, Maxwell Caldwell, the 94, is still leading. But a lot of those drivers who have now got themselves fresh tires are just working their way around. And it's really not benefiting that 94. That 94 probably needs to find a way into the pits because the Jordan Weaver just got around him. Luke Bullard's next up. He gets his lap back.
And right now, that 94 is playing the long run, or the long-term play, which is the last run being the shortest. So it's a gutsy move because I'm not going to say the word, but it could happen in the next, 83 laps, right? So we'll see. And look at the speed difference of that 31 on the high side. Wow. There's powers around everybody.
Now we're down to 8 drivers who have not come into the pits here.
I think the
Chuck Van
might be coming down.
Yeah, Chuck Van Scoik, he came in on lap 4. He may be due, but not till maybe lap 70, 72. So, yeah, big group.
Right
this
now,
is Caldwell, Johnson, Bosick, and Wisham.
Yep, lap 68. That was the max number I thought you could go, but we have some drivers that are trying to push it longer. Wyatt Gray, will we see him come in this time? I mean, he's running that high line. I highly doubt he's going to bank it down to the bottom at this point. There's no way you think he'll do what I think he's going to try to do, is it?
No,
he can't go one stop.
No,
I mean, he's 5 away. Oh, car spinning.
Does it bring out the caution?
That's a caution. That's got to be. Car's backwards on the track, maybe.
Who was that? Was that Wishin?
That might have been Ledger.
It was the 70. Was it Ledger? Why am I struggling to find the car of Ledger?
It's on pit road right there.
Yep. Oh, that's why. All right. So all that drama, the 71 of Wyatt Gray makes it down to pit road. Now, really, the last car who has not come in is the 18 of Justin Horton. I thought he was looking like he was coming in. He is. And then if it's not Woodrum, it is Woodrum. Woodrum is the last car who has not pitted.
Is he out of gas?
I don't know. 71 laps complete. He did not pit on the earlier times by. I'm guessing he's coming in. Here he comes now. Yeah. So he pushed it to, with one caution, to 70 plus laps.
I think it'd be really fun if there was, if there were no stakes, to see if somebody could do it halfway. Because, they're 5 laps away, right? You have to start saving from like lap 1. But if you could save a pit stop, which I don't know the time lost or gained on pit road, if you could save that time over 2 runs, theoretically, if that could save enough fuel, you could try it. But it's probably not going to work.
Yeah, I don't. Aaron Jackson in the 12 had already come in once. I'm not sure why he is back in.
I don't see anything on his telemetry that shows me why he would be down again. Not sure.
John Ledger is in the pits. He's going to be in there for a while. I think he's getting some repairs made. But when it all shakes out, green flag stops are over. First time by, almost to the halfway point here. Walker Thomas is out in front, and Ty Bostic in that 22 just put up the fastest lap of the race.
Wow.
Fresh tires, a 29.251.
Every little point at this point in the championship helps.
All right, how that all shook out. We got Walker Thomas up top. We'll hide that gap information. Did bring up some laps led so far. Kind of spread out a bit between Walker and Kyle. And you got a few laps by Kyle. Andrew Paleschi and Marcus Adams.
And Maxwell Caldwell, Wyatt Gray, and Kyle Smalley really hasn't gotten back hold of that lead after the one got by him. So we'll see what happens there.
And a pretty good gap going on between the one of Walker Thomas, over 4 seconds to second place, Kyle Smalley.
I believe that was at about 1.8, 1.9, right before the caution, or before the pit stops. Oh, yeah. Man. That was really bad timing for me to miss up and say caution, because I literally mistakenly said caw instead of what I meant to say. So that was my fault. Caution on the track. 18 is around backwards. Oh, man.
Yeah, there's Jared Wishin trying to avoid it. The 18 did he couldn't move. Any place he went was going to be a problem. He stayed there, and unfortunately, fortunately enough, he avoided him. But it was a little sketchy.
That was a little close. That was a little close.
Let's try to see what happened with. I think it could just be just one of those incidents. Let's find Justin Horton
May
here.
have just slid off exit. Yeah, just overcorrected a little bit. And then there he is backwards on the track.
Yeah, but he did a good. He stayed there.
I want to see this Jared Wishon incident because I thought he was going to hit him head on.
Right there.
No thanks. No thanks.
Interestingly enough, guess what? Pretty much the entire field, with few exceptions, all put themselves on pit road. You know why, right?
Oh, yeah.
This could be the last stop.
It could need a lot to happen. We need another caution. But possibly, yes.
Well, they came down at lap 77. They're going to go back to green around lap 80. You just need 70 again.
I mean, we had some drivers go all the way to lap 69, but there was a caution there. So you had to throw that in a little bit. But, I mean,
it's going to be close.
If you can save, I would do it. I would try to save as much as you can. I don't know what the pit time loss is on pit road, but I'd give it a shot.
Well, I tell you, there's a lot of gamblers out there because everybody but Maxwell Caldwell, Jared Wishon, and Pete Woodrum.
I think Todd Merkel as well didn't pit. Or
Todd
Chuck Van Scoik.
Yeah, you're correct, because they had come in later. But the top 20 pretty much came in to try a different strategy, with the exception of those two guys who now happen to be on the front row.
Now, I don't think tires are going to be too big of a deal. But what that's telling me is, hey, nobody else can make it on fuel. That is what I think that move is telling me, and I think that could be a move of the race. Green flag back in the air here at New Hampshire. Jared Wishon's already lost that front row spot. Now he's trying to battle alongside the 71. 71's able to clear him off the corner exit.
A lot of competition here, a lot of battling going on too wide, as these restarts are always a little bit touch and go here.
It is. Everybody is fanning out. We have cars all over the place. A lot of side-by-side action. From first all the way back to 10th. You can see the multiple lines being taken here.
3 wide.
3 wide. Yeah. Oh, there's a car on the outside. There's a car on the outside.
Yep, that's Paleshi and the 15 of Garrett Johnson and the 17 of Wishon, all battling for the same real estate.
Yep, we got more action in the back. We have a couple drivers side by side, but 94's been able to keep the lead, surprisingly.
Well, he's got a hungry pack of cars not far behind him. Jared Wishon, the 17, has already slipped back to the 7th, but right now the 71 and the 51 are right on his tail. Oh, caution's back out.
Oh yeah, mid-pack.
Looking
Thought
for
I saw somebody around.
I don't know who was involved.
Thought I saw somebody do maybe like a little bit of a pirouette. Get back going. I do not know on my end.
Nope, we have not. Trying to get some info from the admin, see if they can enlighten us here in the broadcast booth. But with that, we're going to take a quick commercial break here. We thank you for tuning in. We will leave it as side by side. That way you can see whatever is happening here on track. But thanks for tuning in to the IWM Broadcast Network.
Are you looking for a way to safely and securely dispose of your old electronic devices? Why not donate them to Tech4Troops? Tech4Troops is a 501c3 nonprofit dedicated to bridging the technology gap for in-need veterans and their families. The donation process is quick and easy. Simply go to tech4troops.org and click on the donate link at the top right-hand side of the page. Scroll down to access the Give Back Box link. To create your shipping label, click Add to Cart and complete the checkout process. The shipping label is good for up to 50 pounds. You can recycle most standard shipping boxes to send in your devices. Oh, don't forget the power cords. Give new life to your old technology by responsibly recycling with Tech4Troops. Help save the environment and support a veteran.
All right, welcome back to the IWM broadcast of the Tech4Troops Cup Series here. Round 2 of the playoffs at New Hampshire. We're under caution for what appears to be a spin and contact between the 0 of Jordan Weaver and the 34 of Aiden Lucas. We'll try to go and grab that info. We'll see if we can see what happened. Watching the 0 go down a little bit lower.
Yeah, Con just came up a little bit.
Just a tiny little bit of contact. Doesn't take much.
I think the 34 should be okay as well.
Yeah, I don't think he did not. There was no contact with the wall, but just brings out our third caution, which this is what is going to help those drivers who are trying to make this a one-stop event.
It is, and green flag back in the air here. Maxwell Caldwell fighting with the 71 of Wyatt Gray into turn 1. We are side by side for the lead. Oh, he cleared him. Oh, I thought he wasn't going to give him any room. Oh, 71's going to be there.
51's on the apron.
He's going to make it stick.
Oh, my gosh.
Kyle Smalley. I mean, hey, he gained a position.
He did. He did. And maybe taught the 71 something because he's back on the apron.
Now he's got to slide up. Oh, he didn't do it. He didn't do it on exit. The 94 did a great job of closing down the exit so where the 71 could not slide up. Great move from Maxwell Caldwell as he regains the lead.
A lot of action just behind them. Got the 1 of Walker Thomas there. He's grabbing a spot as these leaders are battling, taking advantage of every bit of real estate on this track.
Is there a term for a pack of cars that, you know, travel together in close proximity? We call them a gaggle of cars. Is there anything?
We can make it up.
Like that?
Gaggle works. Gaggle, geese, you know.
A gaggle of cars? That's what we have right now from second, third, all the way on back. A lot of tight racing. And what I experienced when you are side by side with the car at New Hampshire, the fact that there are so many different lines, it produces so many unexpected circumstances. Oh, car spinning in the back.
The 3 of Luke Bullard spinning.
What did he miss? Oh, Ty Bostic got hit. 24 sideways coming back down the track.
Got some major damage.
24, I think, is coming back up the track again, Rick. Oh.
I don't think he can control that. I think that right front's damaged.
Oh, man, Ty Bostic was an innocent bystander and got clipped in the rear. 24 went into the wall. That gaggle of cars turns into a damaged gaggle of cars. Let's go back and see what happened. I believe it was with... I can't remember the car. It wasn't Berube.
Let's look at Luke Bullard. Let's start with Luke.
I think it was with Luke.
Right now, Racing Controls is calling it a racing. Looks like the 15 is just kind of sideways. He is that causes the 3 to have to avoid him.
Yeah, and then he turned back right, and these cars get very upset when you turn back to the right. Right in front of the 7. Great evasive maneuver by the 7. Quick thinking there. Did the 3 did a great job. Luke, a great job of holding the brake. Did exactly what he needed to do. The 14 tries to avoid, gets into the 22, who he is in kind of no man's land. 24 slides up and hits the wall.
It's mainly just evasive maneuvers that every driver executed, some better than others.
Yeah. And tough break for the 14 and the 22, just kind of getting caught up in that.
Yeah, just a racing incident. And in all that, the 21 and the 7 wind up taking over.
Well, because all the leaders pit.
Yep.
Now, that's a strategy I can get behind because you know for sure you're going to make it to the end and you're going to have better tires, right?
Oh, yeah.
So,
yep.
Confirm you got fuel and you have better tires. Now the question is, can you pass?
That's right. So pretty much from 1 through 10 did not come down onto pit road. Everybody else, all the leaders came down. A couple of notables. Jordan Weaver came in on lap 84, so he's to the good. A couple others, a notable, I'll give it to Chuck Van Scoik. He came down lap 83, and he's now sitting in 4th.
Interesting move. Really quick, got one more trivia question while we're on the caution. In what year did New Hampshire Motor Speedway first host a NASCAR Cup Series race? In what year did New Hampshire Motor Speedway first host a NASCAR Cup Series race? I'll let you all simmer on that question. I will give an answer here when we hit lap 100. So they're in the Echo Park, excuse me, and we're 3 wide in the back. Oh, big stack up in the back, though. Oh, we got a mess. I don't know what happened in the back. Got a car. We got a lot of stuff happening in the back, Rick. I think we need to go back and look at this. 3 wide, 55. Might have Calamity Corner out of turn 2, depending on how this plays out. 3 wide all over the place.
Held it together. Don't know how they pulled that off. Looking on back.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, these guys who are now way in the back going to have to come back up. Oh, just got word from Race Control that the 51 of Kyle Smalley got an exiting closed pit penalty for exiting before the field had come around, unfortunately. So that's going to be, unfortunately, a stop and go for the 51.
Yeah, and he might, well, he's not serving it now. He's going on the apron in the pass. But there was some, I don't know if somebody missed a shift or the field got out of line somehow. But that restart, you had cars literally everywhere. Not really, it doesn't happen often, but curious to see what's going to happen now. But Rick, I mentioned that 21, right? If he can find some speed like Josh Berry did, he's got something underneath that hood because he's got out to a 1.1 second lead over Justin Lewis now, and Chuck Van Scoik is in 3rd. Matthew Wood just ran the fastest lap out of anybody in the race. Now we have 3 wide right there. I can't keep up. There's too much happening.
So much going on. You're watching 3 wide here. It's a little early at lap 96. We're just coming up to the 2/3 mark of this race, and they're battling like it's last lap.
The 2 lost a little bit of grip right there, but they saved it. Oh, car sliding up the track into the 71. Oh, mamma mia. Oh, we have a car back in the back behind Kyle Smalley, a little sideways. They got it under control. Yeah, there is just action all over the track.
Well, this last round of pit stops, because of that caution, really jumbled the field and pretty much put all the fastest cars way back, and now they're all trying to drive back through the front through a lot of these drivers who have been just in the process of promotion are up in front. 64 of Cody Sturgill just ate the safer barrier. He's got some significant damage on that right side.
Yeah, the 81 also has damage too. Oh, they're going to go 3 wide here on exit. I think they should be able to survive. But going through the running order, this is when the last time everybody came down pit road, starting off with first place all the way down to the bottom. Lap 77, 77, 83, 77, 76, there we go. 90, 84, 90, 83. And that's just the top 10. I mean, you have just a wide array of different strategies here. Everybody is on different tires, and not even add to the more fuel to the fire, but everybody runs different lines, and so that means tire temps are vastly different. Tire wear is vastly different. So that's why we have this kind of calamity all over the place. But again, Matthew Wood still checking out by over a second, almost 2 seconds now, building a gap. And I was going to say Chuck Van Scoik, biggest mover of the race so far, sitting in third with plus 25 gained right there. Christoph Hall in fourth, Wyatt Gray in fifth, Greg Stone sixth, Walker Thomas, Jordan Weaver, Andrew Pileshi, and Marcus Adams round out your top 10. But that 21 looks pretty sporty.
Pretty stout with just 49 laps to go here in New Hampshire. Oh, I guess they're answering your trivia questions. And
Yeah,
they're throwing in some information beyond that.
Oh, interesting. So what'd they say?
Looks like Jamie Call said 1993, and Retro Dave chimed in and said that it was won by Rusty Wallace.
Did you share the list of questions, Rick?
I did not. I did not. But hey,
Retrowave Dave, you get bonus points because my next question was going to be who won the first Cup Series race in New Hampshire, and it is in fact Rusty Wallace in 1993. So, I will send you positive vibes. I got nothing else for you, and some kudos that you knew that. I got no other prize for you there. But yeah, that was our third. That was actually going to be another question. So. Interesting there. So
we've got just 47 laps to go. We've got 25 questions. We've only used a handful. It's all good.
We have. I'm very grateful that we're not having to use 25 questions. That would
we don't know yet. Don't know yet.
If my maths, that means that we would have to have a lot of not great stuff happening. I don't think we're going to get anywhere near that. That's like Richmond numbers.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, we'll just take it right now for what it gives us. We're not going to put any. I'm looking for wood to knock on here in the broadcast booth.
Desk, floor, all of it, walls.
Oh goodness.
Goodness. Yeah, for sure. Making sure nothing like that happens. But what I do know is that those drivers that have pit on lap 90 are slowly making their way back up through the field. Wyatt Gray right there trying to work on Chuck Van Scoik, and then right behind him your leader who
23 goes around. 23 goes around.
My goodness, and there's a caution, and I think I just should stop saying drivers' names. That's the second time. Chuck Van Scoik right there got tagged.
Did he get tagged? Let's just see. 71 had that run by you leveraging. Oh, and yeah, you called it. Yeah. That 23 is not going to be happy.
No, he's not. Not at all. But really, I'm not really going to say that's an entirely a racing deal, but the 71 was on the flatter portion, and I didn't dare to try to go up into or down on that lane because of how slick it can be, especially when you start to get a little bit later into a run. It has grip and then it doesn't. So, looks like I think all should be okay, but that 23 should be fine as people are starting to come down pit road. I would imagine for tires. Oh, no, we have a fake out. 21 stayed out. But half the field in, half the field not.
Yeah.
Well, since we're under caution, I can't use my third question because Dave was just so smart there and answered it. Now I have to move on to, let's see. Here I have another one. Which driver earned his first NASCAR Cup Series win at New Hampshire in 2009? Really?
Yeah.
That was his first win?
Yeah.
I got to fact check that.
Don't forget that 2009 was a bit ago.
That's making me feel old.
Yeah.
Because I remember when this driver came into the Cup Series. I was like, looks like I guess it could be right. I'm fact checking this. So yeah, who was? Question is, which Cup Series driver earned his first Cup Series career win at New Hampshire in 2009?
Yep.
Wow.
All right, just some important facts up on the totem before we take it down on the restart here. You've got number of drivers who came down just that time. That's lap 106. But as you can see, you'll have Matthew Wood, Justin Lewis, and Christoph Hall out in front. They came down last on lap 77. Behind them, a gaggle of cars who came down on lap 90, and then the balance came down lap 106. So there's going to be a bunch of drivers with just 32 laps. Did I got that right? No, 42 laps to go. Who'll be on fresh rubber?
Yep, Matthew Wood and Justin Lewis trying to make it last. Green flag back in the air here at New Hampshire, and I will give an answer to that question at lap 115. Give you all time to think about that for a little bit. As the 21 is out front in P1.
'21 of Matthew Wood with Justin Lewis right there, but right there sniffing at their heels is the 15 of Garrett Johnston. He came in on lap 90. He's got some fresher tires. But
yeah, the driver I want to pay attention to is Walker Thomas, lap 106. He's the first driver on that most recent stop, all the way sitting right there in P8. So he has the tires, obviously the fuel too, to make it to the end.
Now Kyle Smalley, also his teammate, he's on a slightly alternate strategy. He pitted last on lap 90. He stayed out. That gave him up to sixth place, but Walker Thomas is now right there on his heels.
I think the biggest part about New Hampshire is that it's so tough to pass because of the corners and how they sweep, and you have to be, if you pass, you have to be fairly aggressive, right? You almost have to pull slide jobs all the time to be able to go car on the wall. I think that was the 18. Might be, or maybe the 55.
Not sure, but we definitely have an answer. The Big Show 434, wish I knew people's names, put up said Logano because of the rain. Joey
Logano. That could be true. That could not be true. I'll have to say in 3 laps. Any other guesses?
Anyone? Bueller?
Again, I had to fact check it because I was like, really? That was his first win?
Still green flag. Lots of drama here as the one of Walker Thomas now finds himself up to 5th place. It's got Andrew Pileshi out in front. Everybody out in front of him is on older tires. See how much of a run he gets on that fresh rubber. And
the big key here is to not use it up too early. see time and time again when drivers start to pass cars in the field, they're faster, but they may not do it in the best ways, and you start to see them just burn it up, and on the back end of the run, it doesn't matter because the tire deltas and the time is fairly even. So right now, Walker Thomas, though, currently 16 lap fresher tires than the 15 of Garrett Johnston, and 29 lap fresher tires than Justin Lewis and Matthew Woods. So big gap there, big gap.
Just looking, he's like 0.2 faster than the 21 last lap. We can bring up last lap information. See, last time by, Walker Thomas 29.47, your leader 29.6667, so 0.2.
0.2, yep.
Three of Luke Bullard is on pit road. And Retro Dave said it's also considered his home track. That is true. So, John, the answer to the question?
The answer? Yep. So the answer is, in fact, Mr. Three-Time. Joey Logano got his first win there. Actually, he got his first start at New Hampshire as well, back in 2008, a year prior. So
there you go.
That is, in fact, correct.
All right, Matthew Wood continues to lead. Let's bring up gap information to see just how much time he's got between himself and the Hungry Pack behind him. Just about a second. .21 cars still on the lead lap here in New Hampshire. Just two drivers, take that back, three drivers have retired. The 3 of Luke Bullard, the 34 of Aiden Lucas, and the 46 of Ryan D. Cook. All of those drivers were involved in incidents here. But all in all, solid 21 drivers still on the lead lap with just about 30 laps to go.
Yep, just about 30 to go. By our calculations, that'll go by in about 15 minutes.
That's right. Well, we're going to take our final commercial break of the night. Thanks again for tuning in to the IWM Broadcast Network here of the Tech4Troops Cup Series here in New Hampshire.
When I got out of the military, I had a hard time translating my military experience into the civilian world. I'll be honest with you, if it wasn't for my wife, I probably would have been that homeless or impoverished vet. But it can be easier with the right support. I'm Mark Casper, and I'm the Executive Director of Tech4Troops. In today's world, you have to have a computer to be able to apply for jobs. Our mission is to empower veterans in need with computers and training to get back in the workforce.
Here at Tech4Troops, we're here to push you forward to get you back to where you want to be in life. When the veterans come in, I teach them everything you could think of that's done with a computer. I want them to feel that this is a tool that's going to help them get their life back.
I went into a kind of a deep depression. Eventually, I lost my job and I was out on the street. The computer was able to connect me to the web, and I was able to start putting resumes out. And you have to have these small building blocks to get from point A to point B. I'm not worried about employment anymore.
The need is great, and we want to be able to support our veterans across the nation.
All right, welcome back to the IWM broadcast of the Tech4Troops Cup Series. Lap 123, that means there's just 27 laps to go here in New Hampshire, here in the Mobile 1 151 here really 150 laps, but we'll call it 151. Round 2 of the playoffs. Really, this is if you can get the win here, you can notch that win. You can kind of chill a bit because you've got some challenging tracks coming up.
Yep, you got. Actually, I was gonna say Kansas and the Roval. Was that correct?
That is correct.
Yeah. Okay. I couldn't remember if it was exactly mimicking the Cup Series schedule or not. But yeah, Kansas is one that's wouldn't say it's too difficult, but it can become difficult. But then the Roval is just a whole other beast.
Yeah, and they've changed the Roval for this this year. That Roval has changed.
Is it updated in iRacing with the different back chicane?
Oh, good question. I know there's an update coming out tomorrow. We'll see, but I believe I'm guessing it is.
Yeah, and I think it's faster. That back chicane is a lot. I think it's not as deep, and cars can. I mean, not like fly through it, but it's not as big of a braking zone as it used to be. So, very curious to see how that's going to play out. And I think there's another change that's going to be made. I can't remember to the track as well, but very challenging. Needless to say, oval and a road course basically, kind of mimics what happens at Daytona a little bit. So
really, you've got if you don't win here, which obviously only one person can, you've got to really put it out there for that oval. Which it's a 1.5 mile oval. These cars really are set up this season for to run well at those 1.5 miles, and then some guys absolutely love road courses, others not so much. So if you're a road course guy, you're looking towards that Roval. I think we've got a number of drivers here who just did very well. I think Andrew Palesci was one of them. He's a road course guy. A couple others. Have to go back and look at the past wins, John, this year of road course events.
Yeah, I have to go back and go through that really quick and pull that up.
All right, 22 laps left here on the board. Matthew Wood, can he take advantage of the cautions that have come out? He's got the number 1 of Walker Thomas, who's made his way back up. He is up there. He came in lap 106. He's got no fuel problems. So Matthew Wood has got that to contend with on his bumper, just 1 or 2 car lengths behind. Then you've got Justin Lewis back there. He's got to deal with Garrett Johnston, who came in on lap 90. So he's got fresher tires, more fuel. He's good to go. And don't rule out the 23 of Chuck Van Scoik. Yes, he was involved in that last incident, but he came in, he kept the car going. He is up. He qualified in 28th position. I don't even think he put up a time. He's now in 5th.
It's what I was saying. You can't count it out. If you're in the back, literally anything can happen. So Chuck Van Scoik, amazing run. I went back and took a look at all the road course winners this season. Really quick, want to highlight Kyle Smalley did win the Kansas Spring Race, so that's important to know. But Austin Call won the Circuit of the Americas race in the early spring. And then following that race, we had the Road America full course, which was Kyle Smalley's race there. Zach Lindgren won at Chicago, followed by Matthew Wood winning at Sonoma. And then you also had Watkins Glen won by Matthew Wood. So this could be dangerous right now. But we do have a pass for the lead, speaking of Matthew Wood and Walker Thomas.
Yeah, so you think Walker Thomas and, Matthew Wood and Kyle Smalley, they've got that Roval in their back pocket. They're definitely interested in, they're seeing that, they're marking that on their calendar, saying there's a good opportunity here.
Yeah, but Matthew Wood doing a great job right now, going to try to cross over the 1 of Walker Thomas. I think he's there.
Yeah, but can he hold it, though? He's got way older tires.
I don't think he'll have the tires to do it.
He
Back
can't
up
hold
to
it.
the lead, Walker Thomas.
with 17 laps to go.
Yep, 17 to go. That is a major pass for the lead.
Well timed here. Walker Thomas is looking out his windshield. He sees the last car on the lead lap. That's the 71 of Wyatt Gray, who has unfortunately now found himself at the tail end of the field. As there's now a pretty big gap. You look at the gap info, John. Looks like the second place car of Matthew Wood. He's right there with Walker Thomas, but they've got 3 seconds on the 15 of Garrett Johnston.
Yeah, they do. This is going to be interesting to see how this is going to shape out with just 15 to go. Fresh tires are making their way through the field.
Really, Chuck Van Scoik is back there. He's got he's 4 seconds out from the leader. Behind the 7 of Justin Lewis. That is for position. And Justin Lewis pitted last on lap 77. So Chuck's got about almost 30 lap better tires.
Yeah. That's a big playoff swing, especially for the 7. One little spot here or there could make up the difference between being on the cut line and not. And right now, he is looking fairly strong as Garrett Johnston sitting there in third, fairly comfortably there, sitting about 3.1 seconds back from the leader. But what a run for Matthew Wood, though. I mean, he needed this, and I mean, looking at what he's doing inside the car.
Oh, a little bit of contact there. Yeah.
Got some lap down cars in front of him. I mean, Walker Thomas isn't, dancing away. So, wow, big low line dip right here. We've got to watch for the wall.
They are definitely being able to exploit that apron. But about 8/10 separate Walker Thomas and Matthew Wood. But as you said, at some point, lap down traffic could be a factor here. There's about 7 or 8 cars in front of the leaders. We're watching the one of Walker Thomas here with just 11 laps to go here.
Yeah, he's got quite a bit of traffic in front of him. I mean, it's a little bit hairy. You got guys battling side by side. You got a car slow on the inside. I mean, it's not going to be easy picking for that one car. I mean, maybe the 87, but that might be about it.
See the 99 of Marco. Yeah, we were thinking the exact same thing. Marco basically said, you know what? You're the leader. I'll get up out of your way. It's all good.
It takes away the one's high line, though, so I'm curious what that's going to do. Is he the 21 back to the low side?
21's had a few contacts with that safer barrier. He's still just under a full second behind and dealing with lap down traffic.
Yeah, he'll have to make quick work of the 99 to be able to have anything. And you see Cody Sturgill's the next victim. There, Cody goes to the high side. Doesn't seem to be putting up any fight. As I say that, he powers off the corner. Oh, and hits the wall. As a caution comes out. Oh, and everything changes. Everything changes.
What caused that caution?
I don't see anybody slow on my telemetry. Not one.
Looking around the track. Everybody seems to be pointing in the right direction. Hopefully get an answer from race control as to what just happened there. But that is going to make things very interesting. Now, I think even those drivers who were at the tail end of this, who were on older tires and towards the end of the fuel in their tank, could have made it, but now they're good with this caution coming out.
I think so.
All right, looks like the 18 brought out that caution. Let's try to see if we can find out what happened to Justin Horton there. As a number of drivers are now, with just 6 laps to go, making their way down onto pit road.
Yeah, this is going to be very interesting. Last few laps here is the 18 off the corner. Oh, man. Second time that's happened tonight, unfortunately. And he hit the disconnect button. He hit the fast disconnect button.
Yes, yep. I'm done. See ya. Now, that was very interesting, John, because I'm looking at the telemetry. You know, who's come in on lap 14? Notable names, Kyle Smalley, Maxwell Caldwell, even Jared Wishon.
6 to go? I mean, they're all the way in the back. There's no way.
That puts them back in 14th, 15th spot. And they came in.
I'm all for fresh tires.
Yeah, that's fresh tires. But Walker
I think
Thomas,
track position matters more.
Yeah, I would. You know, they're going to make us eat our words. I can feel it.
Probably. What am I saying? Yeah, I mean, if no one goes to the high side and they have that high line, you're going to see like a freight train of cars around the outside, because that is almost, well, I mean, you're looking at Matthew Wood, came down pit road on lap 77. He has, what is that, 70 lap older tires, 67 lap older tires, if my math is right?
70 lap older tires.
Yeah, and then, I mean, 106 is still a 38 lap gap, so like, it's a full run. I mean, with 4 to go, they are hoping for another caution though, so they could have more laps, or maybe not. But this is going to be an exciting run to the end. I don't know who's going to win it now, because that's a pretty big delta. But watch out for the 17 and the 51. All right, green flag back in the air here with just 4 laps to go. Walker Thomas back out to the point. As we have cars all over the place.
Van Scoik already trying to get further up. He's sitting right now in 4th, trying to take advantage of that with Garrett Johnston, and takes over that 3rd place spot.
We're like 3 wide in the back behind them. Got a lot going on here. Here comes the 51 of Kyle Smalley to the bottom side, all the way to the top side of the 17 of Jaron Wishon. 4 wide in the corner. Oh, they made it work. No, they didn't.
Oh, they didn't. 94 goes around. Maxwell Caldwell involved, Christoph Hall, and somebody else. I saw some smoke there.
I thought they were going to make it work.
Yeah, up until they didn't.
Yeah, Marco Berube has a meatball flag.
Yes, 99 is definitely got some damage.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
He is crab walking.
Yep, when that left front is just not rotating, that's a problem.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a peek and just see what happened here.
Yeah, 4 wide on exit. 94 squeezed it in there really tight.
Oh, the 98 came up and tapped the 94.
Yeah, I think it was really a racing situation.
'87 makes it through. 64, 24, Not sure where. There's Marco.
Oh, he's going straight for the 98. I mean, I think just absolutely.
Yep. And there it is.
Oh, that's a lick.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
As
see that
evidenced by
full
the
speed.
damage on the 94.
Yeah, really. He,
All right.
Tried to Days of Thunder it, and it didn't work very well, unfortunately, for
Nope.
99.
He went high.
He did. All right, got 3 to go. Doesn't look like we're going to go back green this time. But looking at the telemetry, you know, Kyle Smalley is only up to 12th. I mean, with just a few laps to go, I don't think he's going to have what it takes to make it up. Track position is too key right here.
Yeah, he is the highest leading driver who came in on that gamble at lap 144. So he's going to start on the outside of row 6. This is what he's depending on. He's got to make it's got to be a difference right here.
Yep.
On the restart. Got to hand it to Wyatt Gray in the 71. For a while there, when Walker was leading or Matthew Wood was leading, he was in danger of being lapped. And now he's sitting in 11th.
He is.
All right, lights are off on our pace car. We are going back to green. Next time by. Appreciate all of you who have tuned in to this event here at the Tech4Troops Cup Series. We could not do this without our primary sponsors, Tech4Troops and Goat Racing Diecast. We appreciate all of you who come out each and every week to bring you some of the best in sim racing. We thank you and hope you keep watching because we appreciate you.
And we're getting treated to a race here that's going to be to the wire. I mean, watch out for that red car in the back on the high side. That's Kyle Smalley. Green flag back in the air, outside line, major checkup.
Yeah, lots of tapping and banging there a bit.
Yeah, that 51's going to go all the way up to the high side. You can see him all the way up there trying to power around. He's going to have the momentum. 4 wide again.
In the wall.
He doesn't care about that right side.
No.
Car spinning in the back. I think we're fine, though. Oh, he's going all the way down to the apron. Oh, car wrecking right there into the wall. 3 cars side by side.
That's Merkel up there in the 2.
White flag in the air. Walker Thomas. Yeah, that 51's trying to make it work, but it's just not going. But, Rick, I think Walker Thomas might be running away with this, but Matthew Wood, multiple cars. Jared Wishing sliding on the inside.
So for Walker Thomas, Matthew Wood. Now the big challenge is, can Garrett Johnson get around Matthew Wood? It's going to be a chase right here.
3 wide or not. Here we go. Matthew Wood will come home in second.
Man, that was close.
With Garrett Johnson in third, but Walker Thomas with the win locks himself into the round of 8.
Yowza.
Big story, though. Go ahead.
Go ahead, no.
I would say Matthew Wood pit twice this race. On lap 77 was the last time he pit. I mean, He almost did half and half.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, pretty wild there.
All right, we're staying with their leader. As he drives right past the start-finish line.
Might be turning around.
There he is. In turn 1.
Oh, he's going to start the burnout now. Going all the way.
While Walker Thomas celebrates his win, let's go ahead and bring up the results for tonight's Mobile 1 151 here at New Hampshire.
Bringing home the win, locking himself into the round of 8. Walker Thomas with Matthew Wood in second. Garrett Johnson comes home in third. Chuck Van Scoik, biggest move of the race, up 24 spots, up to P4. with Andrew Pileshi in 5th. Justin Lewis finishes in 6th. Marcus Adams in 7th. Ty Bostic, a nice recovery in 8th. Kyle Smalley finishes in P9, and Wyatt Gray rounds out your top 10.
Michael Anthony finishes in 11th with Jordan Weaver in 12th. Maxwell Caldwell in 13th. Cody Sturgill 14th. Greg Stone in 15th. Aaron Jackson in 16th and Todd Merkel in 17th. In 18th, William Corinne. 19th, Jared Wishon, and Christoph Hall finishes in 20th.
In the 21st spot, Pete Woodrum with Marco Berube finishes in 22nd. John Ledger finishes in 23rd with Philip Van Nortwick in 24th. Nathan Yarnell 25th. Justin Horton 26th. Sammy Harrell finishes in 27th. Luke Bowler in 28th. Aiden Lucas in 29th. And Ryan D. Cook in 30th. Don't go away. We're going to interview our podium finishers here very shortly.
Yeah, like right now. So I think we've got Garrett Johnson. Let's go ahead and bring Garrett into the broadcast booth. Garrett, congratulations on your 3rd place finish there.
Hey, thank you very much.
Man, you qualified back there in 16th, finished here in 3rd on the podium. Man, heck of a move through that latter half of that race.
Yeah, I thought I was done for sure when that late caution came out, but somehow made it stick and put the old tires to work and hung on. So I'm happy with 3rd. I was actually thinking I was about a probably 8th, 9th, 10th place car, but take 3rd any day.
Absolutely. We were shocked in just watching a number of drivers. In fact, if you look at the top 10, most of those drivers were outside the top 10 in qualifying. Yourself, back there. Same thing with Chuck Van Scoik and Matthew Wood. You guys all did a great job in driving from the back to the front as this race progressed. Tell us a little about your thoughts about your pit stop strategy. I mean, you pitted last on lap 90. What were your thoughts on putting that together?
Yeah, well, that first stop, I kind of ran it out as long as I could, just honestly hoping someone would would wreck coming out of the pits or something. I can get away with it, but then we all kind of got jumbled up on strategy, and I kind of went a different route. And ideally, we would have got a caution about lap 100, and then we got a few of them right there in a row, so kind of threw me off. And then by that point, you've kind of made your bed, especially there at the end. If I was ready to come down, if everyone else decided to come down, but probably a good call staying out. So I kind of just wing it, and sometimes it pays off, sometimes it doesn't.
Well, congratulations on your finish. Obviously, this was an important race here and getting some good points headed into the next race. Obviously, any shout outs tonight?
Yeah, thank you guys as always, and thank Elliot for putting the league on, and shout out to everyone watching at home, dad, mom, grandma, aunt, my wife, Surface Accounting and Tax, and hopefully I can talk to you guys again next week. Kansas is my home track, so we'll look forward to it.
Congratulations. Well, that's great. Congratulations on your finish tonight, and we'll look forward to maybe talking with you next week.
All right, thanks, guys.
All right, that's Garrett Johnston here, finishing in P3, and with that, we'll reach out to Matthew Wood here and bring Matthew into the broadcast booth. Matthew, man, we thought you had something there, but I got to give it to you, man. You pitted last on lap 77, and I don't know how you did it. You squeezed out every drop of fuel.
I squeezed out every drop of fuel, every fume in that car that was left. That was it was definitely fun. I held him off for a good while, but this, like I was just talking to Walker, this track really isn't aero dependent. As far as the next gen goes, it's not aero dependent. So tires meant a little bit more, unfortunately, but I think I did a swell job holding him off. But yeah, he had saved a little bit, and I was burning off my right front more than I should have, trying to keep up with Justin. Of course, he fell off there at the end, but I think if that one caution didn't come out when I was way out in the lead, I think I could have probably won the race, but I don't know. I will definitely take it, because first half of the race I had no idea what I was doing. I couldn't figure it out, what I was doing wrong, and then finally I started to figure out what I was doing. Pit stops came through. I was able to get up in the top 5, and from there, just strategy. So a little bit of strategy, but I think there was one point after the pit stops, I was 3rd during the green flag run. So and I was gaining on the leaders. So a good pace today, but hopefully we'll get another one soon. But points is all that I really care about.
Well, yeah, you did lead some laps. That's good for a point or so, and then just a great finish today. So congratulations on that. Any shout outs tonight?
Of course, my whole team, Goat Racing, they've brought me on, treat me very, very well. You guys do a great job up here, and thank everybody that always supports me. Outlier Speed Co, McConey, Prosper Engineering. Thank the Lord for what he's done for me, for what he always will and will do for every one of you, and hopefully we can go and get another good result next week.
You got it. Well, congratulations on your P2, and we'll see you next week in Kansas.
See you.
All right, that was Matthew Wood finishing here in P2, and with that, let's bring your winner into the broadcast booth. Walker Thomas notches his round 2 win here in New Hampshire. Walker, congratulations.
I appreciate it. Glad to get that one in the books and start focusing for a few weeks from now. So it's pretty cool. I'm sweating. I had to work for it, that's for sure. These guys in this league always make it tough, man. No matter if it comes down to strategy or pure speed, whatever the race unfolds, it's always tough. So you always take the ones like this and cherish them.
Well, we are we are very pleased with the overall racecraft that was shown tonight. New Hampshire can be a mixed bag of cautions and challenges for drivers, but y'all came to fight today. It was a great race.
Yeah, it was pretty stable, to be honest. A lot of the times when you come to New Hampshire on iRacing, typically tends to be pretty loose on exits and tight in the center. So setup wise, I think it handled really well, which allowed us to really race hard. And yeah, I thought the racing was really good. Setting up passes really meant something, and also saving your tires really meant something. So I thought it was a really good pure race, and hopefully it kind of showed that on the broadcast as well.
It sure did. One of the things we definitely saw was how many drivers took advantage of the apron in trying to set up a pass.
Yeah, I don't know if that's, the new scan. This is the first race I've actually ran on the rescan, but I can't remember if it was totally rescanned or if it was just the artwork. But regardless, yeah, the apron was actually usable for the first time I've ever raced here, which was really cool, especially on the restarts. On fresh tires, you could really wrap the bottom really good. So yeah, that was really neat. Definitely made it feel like real life. We were able to use all the lanes. So yeah, props to iRacing for getting New Hampshire right. That was a lot of fun.
Excellent. All right, any shout outs tonight?
Yeah, just my balls out teammates as always. All of us making it into the round of 12. It's a big step, but I know we all want to move on. So shout out to those guys. I think we all finished pretty well. I think Mike ended up Jordan finished a little bit further back than he wanted. I know he was kind of on the same strategy as me, but regardless, we all ran pretty well. So shout out to those guys. And as always, Diecast fans for being on the car. Make sure to use code DFANS at Circle B for $6 off shipping.
You got it. All right, there's your winner tonight. Walker Thomas brings home the win here in New Hampshire as we conclude the first race of round 2. Next week, we head to Kansas, and looking forward to that. John, what are your thoughts on Kansas?
I'm a huge fan of Kansas. I love the racing products. I love the track. A lot of different grooves, and it's always a great race, a true mile and a half, and I can't wait to see what the Tech4Troops Cup Series brings next week there, and make sure to tune in tomorrow night for the INRS Series. We're kind of staggering the schedule, so tomorrow they will be at Kansas, so make sure to tune in for that as well.
Yeah, that'll be the Hollywood Casino 200 tomorrow night in the INRS Racing Series, and then you'll see it here with the Tech4Troops next week. So for John and myself, we thank you all who have tuned in and participated. We had a lot of great chat going in the room, and we appreciate those who tuned in live. And for those of you who tuned in on the replay, we appreciate you as well. So for John and myself, thanks, and have a great night, folks.
Good night.